Alright guys, today we're back on Call of the Wild theAngler to continue a search for our first diamond on the new Aguas Claras map, but on this occasion we're gonna focus mainly on the common carp, which I believe is the biggest species of all the new fish present on this map. So what we're gonna do today is that I'm gonna do a tour around the best hotspots I found to fish monster common carp on this early access, and hopefully we'll get lucky enough to finally find a diamond. Now, the common carp is a quite tough species to catch. They are really strong and they are more than capable of carrying the strongest rigs to the limit. So you gotta make sure to use the strongest line supported by your strongest spinning rod to be able to reduce the time it takes you to land these monsters. And you also gotta make sure to use the correct hook size. On this case, hook size number 6 seems to work for every size of common carp, including golds and diamonds. And if you wanna focus mainly on silver and above, a hook size of 2 or 3 seems to be a decent choice. Although in the case you wanna focus exclusively on golds and diamonds, you will want to use a hook size of 2.0 or 3.0, since only the huge ones are gonna buy those. So what I would recommend you to save time is to use at least a 2.0 size hook to discard all the small ones and to save some time, because even the small ones can give you a fight and you're gonna end up wasting a lot of time catching only small carps if you decide to go for one of the smaller hooks, which is something I really doubt you'll want to see happen. Alright, we got something. And maybe big. You know, that is definitely common carp. At the moment I'm using a hook size number 3 since I'm also fishing for big European eel, but apparently this one is a huge common carp. Look at that. This guy is strong. I've got a few silvers already and some of them were absolutely massive, but none of them gave us this kind of fight, to be honest. Damn. We got a hanging here, but it is actually reaching the limit of this monoline, which is only 65 meters, and it really feels like it's gonna break at any moment. Hopefully not. I mean, our drag is quite high at the moment, 95%, but I feel that if we reduce it, it's gonna be easier for this fish to get even further and break our line, considering that it's already at its limit in terms of distance. So we're gonna keep it the same, especially because it seems like he's starting to get tired. You know, he's not pushing as hard as it was at the start, and now we can finally start to reel him in. About time. I really wonder how big it is. I assume it is a gold, or maybe a diamond. Man, a diamond would be absolutely amazing. Although I think it's gonna be a gold, since even though he gave us a strong fight, I would have expected an even stronger fight from a diamond. Alright, there we have it. As you can see, it is gigantic. Certainly the biggest common carp I've seen so far, easily. And by the way, I'm actually gonna show you a picture of the map right here to show you the location on which we're fishing at the moment. As you can see, this lake is one of my favorite locations to fish common carp on the entire map. I'm honestly not sure if they are present on the entire lake, but I guarantee you that you're gonna find them on this part, and a good amount of them. Now, this guy is giving us a hard time at the last moment. He's simply not giving us a chance to claim it. And finally, here is a gold, a monster gold, 22.77 kilograms. What a beast. You know, this is my first gold scoring common carp and apparently it is absolutely massive. I wonder what is the weight for diamonds. I assume they get heavier than 25 kgs. Oh. Another monster common carp. I was just waiting to catch something interesting here to show you this second location, which is also one of my favorite places to fish common carp. You know, just as in the last spot, you can expect to catch a good amount of them as long as you're using the correct setup. I like to use cheese as a bait and a hook size 2.0 to catch the big ones. And something I realized that is important is that seemingly there's a higher chance to catch this species if you focus on casting above the deeper areas, which are the patches of water that appear darker on the map. You know, take this one with a grain of salt, but at least in my experience, I have always had way better success while fishing within these areas. Okay, this guy finally gave up. As you can see, now he's less than 10 meters out. And he's indeed massive. Maybe just as big as the last gold we got. Let's see. We got it. And as expected, he's also a gold with a weight of 20.85 kilograms and a score of 19,853. It is a giant, slightly smaller than the last one, but a monster nonetheless. No way! We got another giant. Immediately after the last one. Of the exact same spot. Man, this lake is good. I really wonder if this will be the diamond though. I mean, it is incredibly strong. Must be heavy, and I'm serious when I say that it feels quite stronger than the last one. So I really wonder how big it is. I'm actually gonna decrease the drag to 75 since it is pulling us hard. Really putting a fight. Wow. It keeps going. Should have probably equipped the braided line to have a bit more length and hopefully be safer. Because frankly, 65 meters seem to be on the absolute edge of snapping. Although he's finally starting to get tired, we can finally reel him in. Now it's just a matter of time to see exactly how big is this guy, hopefully diamond. Okay, we're just about to catch it. Come on. Safe catch. Let's see. And that's it. It is also a gold with a score of 22,357 and a weight of 22.78 kilograms. It is massive, and actually our personal best. No way. Look at this guy, look at the size. So as you could see, this lake is in fact a pretty decent hotspot to fish big common carp, but it's actually not the only one because apart from the two locations I've mentioned so far, the common carp also has a high presence on this other lake. Frankly, I haven't had nearly the same amount of success on this lake compared to the first two, but I'm very aware that there's a large population of common carp inhabiting this region, so I imagine the odds of finding some big golds and even diamonds are also quite high here, and not only for the common carp because there's also a high presence of mirror carp and European eel around this area. Hold up. What is that? I think that is a huge comiso barbel. I had no idea they also inhabited this area. And not gonna lie, it is the biggest I've seen so far. Is it a diamond though? Well, he clearly won't fight as hard as a common carp since these comisos are not even half the size. But I gotta say that for a comiso he's fighting really hard. Let's see how big it is. It is a gold, with a score of 4,388 and a weight of 8.95 kilograms. He's a giant. Now we have another common carp. Appears to be decent. I assume it is a small gold or a big silver. You know, if it ends up being a gold, that would be our first gold common carp on this area, although now I really doubt it will be that big since it barely gave us any fight, to be honest. And there is in fact only a silver. So anyway, those were essentially the 3 hotspots I wanted to show you today, guys. As you could see, we managed to find quite a few big golds while making this video, which I guess truly shows how good these locations are. And even though we failed to get a diamond today, I think it's just a matter of time for us to finally find that big boy. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time.